The room goes quiet, a proctor checks your face against your photo ID, and a confidentiality agreement fills the screen. You accept it, a clock starts counting down from 120 minutes and 63 questions are waiting. Every one of them is a decision, not a definition. Here is the fear I actually want to kill in this episode. You can know this material cold and still walk out under the passing line. That happens when you spend the whole course learning the architecture and never learn how to sit the exam. Knowing the answers and scoring the points are two different skills, and today is entirely about the second one. So let's walk the day itself, start to finish the way it actually happens. We'll cover how you book it and what the clock does to you under pressure. Then the one question format that trips up people coming over from the foundations exam. And how you decide you're ready when there is no official practice test to tell you. This is the last episode, so I'll close by pulling the whole course back into a single map. First, getting in the door, because this part surprises people. You don't just sign up and pay on a public page. Registration runs through Anthropic's partner network, so you book the exam from inside a partner account. The learning is open to anyone, but the exam sits behind that partner door. I say it plainly so it isn't a shock the day you decide to go for it. Once you register, you set up a Pearson VUE account and choose how you want to sit it. You can go online with a remote proctor watching or in person at a test center. You will need a government photo ID and the name on it has to match your registration exactly. So fix any mismatch ahead of time, not on the morning of. If life gets in the way, you can move your slot, but you have to cancel or reschedule at least a full day ahead or you lose the fee. When you finally sit down, the very first thing on screen is that confidentiality agreement. Declining it ends the session with no refund, so accept it and get to work. Now the clock, which decides more passes and fails than people like to admit. You get 63 items and 120 minutes, which works out to just under 2 minutes an item. That sounds roomy until you hit a dense scenario where all 4 answers look defensible and suddenly 2 minutes are gone and you are still on question 1. So you don't take this exam in one pass, you take it in 2. On the first pass, you answer everything you're sure of quickly. The moment an item makes you fight, you put down your best guess, flag it, and keep moving. That flag is a promise to come back. It is not permission to leave the item empty. Here is the most expensive mistake in that whole room, and it is the trap I most want you to avoid. Spending 9 minutes wrestling one hard item while 5 easy ones you'd have aced sit unread at the very end. Reach the last question with time still on the clock, then spend what's left on your flagged items where the hard thinking actually buys you something. And never leave an item blank when the clock is about to run out. A blank can never be marked correct, so an empty answer is a point you are choosing to give away. Even a shrug of a guess still has a chance. Put an answer on every single item before time ends, even the ones you would only bet on with your eyes closed. There is one question format that quietly punishes people coming over from the foundations exam, and it is the multiple response item. Some items are single best answer and some ask you to pick more than one, and each one tells you exactly how many to select. When it says choose 2, that means exactly 2, no more and no fewer. Don't go hunting for the 2 that feel right, because feelings reach straight for the plausible distractors this exam is built out of. Read every option on its own as a small true or false question against the scenario, mark each one, and then select exactly the number the item asked for. A pick 2 item has more wrong ways to answer it than right ones, so judging each box separately is how you stop the odds from working against you. This is slower per item, which makes it exactly the kind of question you flag on pass 1 and settle on pass 2. Let's run that clock strategy through one quick drill, exam style, because this is the skill the day actually tests. You are on item 45 of 63 with about 20 minutes left on the clock. Everything so far is answered and you've got 9 items flagged with a guess already on each one. Then you hit an item you find genuinely confusing. Option A, stop and take whatever time it needs to get this one right, since an unanswered item scores nothing. Option B, leave this one blank for now so you are certain to come back to it and push ahead. Option C, put down your best guess, flag it, keep going until every item has an answer, then spend the rest of the clock on your flags. Option D, jump back and recheck your 9 earlier flags first, since you've already read those before finishing the last items. Option A gets the blank part right, but then it stops, and stopping is the trap. One confusing item can eat the minutes the easy ones at the end need, so that's the clock sink. Option B breaks the rule we just set. A blank is a guaranteed 0 and you might not make it back to fill it in. Option D rereads items you already answered while items past 45 sit completely unseen, and reaching every item beats polishing the ones you've read. That leaves C, which is the whole 2-pass strategy in a single move. Guess, flag, finish, then return. The answer is C. Now the hardest question, and it does not have a clean answer. How do you know you're ready? There is no official practice exam for this certification. Nothing from the source that hands you a number and says you are good. So you build that signal yourself, and you build it one domain at a time. Score yourself honestly against every objective in the blueprint, and be brutal about the domains you would rather skip, because those are the ones the weights punish hardest. When your own practice starts to feel easy, make it harder, because the real thing will. Remember the engineer from episode 1, cruising in the 900s on practice. Then he barely scraped over the line on the real exam because he trained below the real difficulty. Train above the difficulty you expect, so that when the real questions land, they feel like the easy version. When you finish, the report gives you a pass or a fail, a scaled score, and a % correct for each domain. The line you are clearing is a scale score of 720, and the scale it sits on is up on your screen. Read those per domain percentages as a diagnosis, not a verdict, because only the total scaled score decides whether you pass. A weak domain, there is a map for your next attempt. It is not the reason you failed. If it doesn't go your way, that is not the end of anything. You can retake it, and the waiting period grows each time. A couple of weeks after the first miss, a month after the second, 3 months after the third, and you get up to 4 tries in a rolling year. There is a fee on every attempt, so the smart move is to treat the first sitting like it counts, not like a free scouting run. Once you pass, the credential is good for a year, with a free renewal check to keep it current. So this isn't a one-shot trophy, it's something you hold and maintain. So here is the whole course on one page, the way I want you carrying it into that room. Solution design, where you choose the pattern and defend the business value behind it. Models, prompting, and context, where you spend tokens like they cost money, because they do. Integration, the biggest slice, where you choose between MCP, a plain API call, and agent to agent, and design retrieval that doesn't go stale on you. Evaluation and optimization, where a golden set decides what ships, not a good feeling in a demo. Governance, safety, and risk, where the rule that must hold lives in code and the rule that should hold lives in a prompt. Stakeholder work and lifecycle, where the best architecture in the world still dies if you present it as a diagram instead of a decision. And developer productivity, the smallest slice, worth exactly the small study time its weight tells you it is. Underneath all 7 of those sits the one idea this whole certification is built on. Foundations tested whether you could build it. The professional exam tests whether you should and whether you can defend the call you made. On every item, your job is the same. Find the constraint, name the principle, and pick the option that breaks nothing. Do that under the clock, and the score takes care of itself. Go pass it.